Okay, hello and welcome to Mr. Lisp in Progress. I am your host, Mr. Lisp. And today we're going to be talking about the good old days, reminiscing, or just looking back at, where things have changed and how things have changed. And, from the buildings, the designs, the clothing, the music, the young people, the generations. That's the main thing. The generations have changed so much. And again, we now have an influx of social media where we have mobile devices, we have AI, we have so much things that have now adapted, and technology has risen so much that there's been always going to be a change, and ongoing changes. And it's about adapting with the change. It's about adapting to the change, but it's also being able to look back and reminisce and think to yourself how good those days were. Because some of these days we will never be able to get back. Those carefree days, those days where we didn't have anything to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. My main concern growing up was, did I have a football? Was my football going to be pumped up? That was my main concern. Other than that, and making sure you got back in time for curfew. Because then if you didn't, you weren't going out the next day. That was literally my main concerns growing up. At the time, probably as a child, I probably thought I had the world on my shoulder. But when I look back on it now, and I realized that life was so good, and I can only, remember hearing this saying so much time: do not rush to grow old. Enjoy your youth. And now I have to just literally, I'm echoing that because it is so true. The years are rolling by. 2026 is literally coming up to nearly halfway. And it just felt like it just started. So yeah, the years are rolling by really, really fast. So, for the parents out there to have children, embrace them. Let your children be children. Let them have fun. Take away some of the devices all the time. Let them go out into the nature. Let them, dig in the garden. Look at the birds. Build camps and tents and, dens and caves with the duvets, and let them be children, because that time is so short. It is so short that, before you blink, it's gone, and then it's puberty, and then it's, moving on to, the adolescence, moving on to going to adulthood and into work, and then you bog down into life and then back onto the hamster wheel for many of us. And it's like, this is not the purpose. It can't be the purpose. It's got to be more to life than this. But the main point of this video today is talking about to reminisce and just look back on the good old days and the days that I can remember, and what, the things I used to go through. So I've written a poem piece, and yeah, this is just about my reminiscing. So I'm going to call it the good old days. I remember being on the back of the bus, rolling with my brethren, causing a fuss. But as an elder appeared, I was silent and scared. I would humble myself to protect my health. And if you know, then you know, because everybody knew my parents on the road. I remember going shopping on the weekends, pulling a trolley, hiding from friends. Brixton Market, fish and meat, which became a local link-up for my parents and their friends, and meet and greet. And being told constantly how I look round and sweet. Back of my mind, I was thinking damn cheek. The bags of yam, plantain, potato that was sweet, was bearing weight on my hands and my feet. Mum's looking at me like she really wants to go. Then she asked the dreaded question, so how's so-and-so? I'm thinking to myself, no. I know we've all been there. I remember playing out with my cousins and my friends, and no one cared that they weren't from the ends. It was Knock Down Ginger. I double dare you to knock at number 10, the local madman known on the ends. Laughter and joy, not a care in the world. Looking back, that ship has sailed. A handful are dead and a few are in jail. Salute and praise the ones doing well. I remember Sunday afternoons, Mum and Dad preparing the dinner, playing Freddie McGregor was born a winner. The sweet smell of the oxtail, and the smell lingered like an echo down a well. Guinness punch, macaroni cheese, Sunday soul food will make you go weak at the knees. A knock at the door, someone's looking rice and peas. I remember going to the shop with £1. I could shop till I dropped, mixed up sweet, crisp and a drink, and I still had change to put in my piggy that was pink. Imagine the snacks have decreased in size and nearly bloody tripled in price. And I witnessed this with my own eyes, and these ain't fables and these ain't lies. I remember when it was just channels 1 to 4, and when channel 5 came, Sunset Beach had the country insane. The 9 o'clock movie, you might see a booby. Never had the opportunity to skip an advert, and the wait in a couple minutes, it really didn't hurt. When you had to control the TV without no remote, don't turn the TV and record an EastEnders written on a note. And if you dare to touch it, you'll be skinned like a goat. As there was no iPlayer, Netflix or Prime, it was blockbusters recording and studying the TV guide. Then there was cable, we got Sky. Nickelodeon the box, I thought I was the guy. I remember when the phone rang. It wasn't a mobile, it was a landline that had a big round dial. If the phone rang after 10 o'clock, the whole house would be in frantic shock. It was either an international call or news that someone's heart had stopped. So you would listen eagerly. Would you hear patois, Wagwan family? Or would it be, oh my God, Allah, the mercy? I remember getting smacked. Every ounce of my body was under attack. Every syllable was sounded. Why didn't I just get grounded? But it never stopped there. I would hear my siblings laughing downstairs, and that would infuriate me more and make me really mad, and that would equal more beats from either mum or dad. But the beats that I got made me the man that I am. They kept me aligned with God's plan. I was never abused and just disciplined. I never went to school with marks on my skin. The good old days were definitely the best. And why did I have to age and fly the nest? Now I've inherited my parents' stress. Yeah, so that's literally it. That's like my kind of reminiscing put down into a short form spoken word. But like when I look back at it and I look at the good old days and the carefree days, and I look at these young children now, and I look at my own children, and it's like they don't get to go out nowhere near like the times I used to go out. You know, I play knockdown ginger. I couldn't even. I was so scared to see my children play knockdown ginger now because, again, the world and the times have changed. And I know, to be fair, things have changed, but it's me that's changed. I've got older. I'm now seeing the world in a different place because I'm obviously a lot older. I'm a parent. I have responsibilities. And when you're a child, you're carefree, innit? Like you feel like you're invincible. So I know that's a big factor of it, as well as the factor that I know a lot of stuff was happening, just we weren't aware of it because it was on social media. It wasn't on social media, I mean. As it wasn't on social media, you would only have to, the local paper. Was it the Mercury, the South London Press, for myself as I live in South London, The Voice, I think, yeah, and The Guardian. I think there was a few others, like free newspapers and the ones that you would buy, parents would buy. But that's where you found out your news or what was going on in your local area. Now, you don't have to go nowhere. You're just being bombarded, flooded with all this madness that seems to be happening, and it just portrays an image that the world has gone crazy when deep down we know it's not that. It's not that. It's a small percentage. But this is not what this channel is. Not channel. This is what this video is about today. It's more just about to reminisce. Think about your good old days. The days, the times, the joyous moments, the things that you can see the changes, the things that you want to tell your children, your grandchildren about. How the world has evolved and things have evolved. Think back to the days when I used to have hair. Like that was many moons ago. But these are the kind of things that it's the good old days. These are our memories. This is what we need to cherish. And if we can share these memories and pass them on to our children, our grandchildren, hopefully we can inspire them. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. And if you could watch another one, it really does help. But gonna love you and leave you. And if you can check out our next video there or there, and like, comment and subscribe. Mr. Lisp out.